Hello again, YouTube and Facebook friends. Here we have another Halverson HWP 140B, the brand new model. We delivered our 33rd unit in 3 years out to its new owner yesterday, and in delivering that I did have the first chance to mess with the electronic log length cut guide and see if I can explain this to you guys so nobody else really has to struggle with it, because directions really aren't included that I can tell. And we'll get this bad boy off the pallet, get it hooked up, and my skid steer is hooked up for the old style 140 with the 12 pin. So I'm actually just going to temporarily wire this one in for the customer. He's coming down tomorrow to pick this one up, and that way we can actually test this, try it. I can show him how to work the cut guide, and we'll go from there. Just wiring the new controls in here at the cab. And one little tidbit that I like to do is when you put the zip ties on, put the extra so it's in pointing towards your knee. So when you wrap your hand around it, all the extra pieces, so you never really can cut these things flush. That way it's not gouging into your hand on this side. It just loops around the handle real nice. And that way all the rough stuff is here and you won't get any sore fingers while you're running the machine. And again, each one is kind of marked for left and right. And that's your orientation from sitting inside the cab. Alright, I pretty much did a quick and dirty wiring harness install. I did get the new buttons put on the inside. Got the little green light up there for the cigarette plug lighter, so we're good there. Always important to check before install to make sure you do have an actively working 12-volt power supply in the cab. What I like to do with these, like these just come screwed on from the factory, all three ends, and they're never on the right angle for any given machine. So what I like to do is get them up, get them in there the first time. You do have to fight it just a little bit, but if you can take a wrench and loosen this fitting and then just kind of bounce the hoses and just let them find their neutral happy place, it's going to save you a lot of time, hassle, and frustration moving on every time you take the couplers on and off. Yeah, see this one, it's on that downhill angle where you'd be fighting it every time. So like I said, just get it up, get it on there once. Just kind of loosen it and kind of give it that little jiggle, a little shake. Let them find that nice, neutral, relaxed area. It'll just save you that much more time moving forward. Alright, what I'm going to attempt to do is explain how this new electronic log length cut guide actually works. We were out on a job site yesterday delivering our 33rd unit, and I had to try to figure it out for the first time. So this video, the customer was nice enough to let me take this off the pallet, put a few scratches on it, mark it up. Hopefully I put the paint pen markings on here correctly. We'll find out in a few minutes. I do have everything wired in as previously mentioned. See if we can get this thing to work. And this is my pea-brained explanation of how this works. The table is fully closed right now. We know that the maximum cut length on this is 22 inches. We find that right here. There's 22 inches marked by that paint mark. I got that paint mark by taking the straight edge to the outside of the chainsaw right there, coming straight down 22 on there. Now how this works, when the splitter table backs up, the new proximity sensor, which I'll show you, stops the table at a set increment. You design and you set that increment what is good for you. Hopefully we can get this set at around 16 inches for our new customer. We're going to try that out here in a few minutes. So again, as the table backs up, the new system stops it where you set it. So if we wanted to bring this down to 16 inches, the sensor is right back here. Let me show you what I'm talking about first. The sensor is this little guy right down there. And so as the table backs up, we're going to try and set this for 16 inches, which means we need the table to back up 6 inches past this point. So as the table backs up, we're going to try and stop it around the 16 marker. There's another little piece in the back. I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute because I can't access it with the table being closed. But again, we need that table to back up 6 inches for 16. All right, I went ahead and opened the tray table all the way up. There we have our marks in the front. I came around here to the back and made some matching marks. You have these 4 holes going across the back, and you have 2 screws here and here, and this is the new guide bar that bolts into those holes. And when that white stripe that I put on there comes in front of the sensor, right in the center, that's what marks the cut length. So what we want to do is try and get this in the hole closest to the 16, maybe somewhere like right there, using this hole and get things lined up for 16. So we can get this put on there, and I'll pick the camera back up. All right, just a quick recap. We have the splitter all the way closed. We came over here. We took a mark where the sensor was. The sensor is straight in from here. We marked that at 22 inches because we know that is the maximum cut length. We came back 2 inches because, again, the sensor works backwards. It'll stop in your set increment coming back. So 20, 18, 16. The splitter should come back 6 inches for the 16-inch cut. And then another 2 more. So 8 inches back will give you 14. Another 2 back from that. 10 inches will give you a 12-inch cut. So again, the table goes backwards. The sensor stops it where you tell it to stop based on that little guide bar we showed you before. I'm going to jump in this. Got a piece of wood on here ready to go. Gonna throttle up. Again, we're gonna hit the back button. It's gonna stop on its own. We're gonna drop the grabber arm when the system feels the pressure from the grabber arm. It will continue back all on its own. Here we go. There's our 6 inches. Drop the grabber arm. Feels the pressure, backs up on its own, no help from me. A little more juice. Raise the grabber arm, split. We're going to back up, again it'll stop on its own. Here's our 6 inch, drop the arm, feels the pressure, backs up on its own. A little more throttle. Raise the arm. Split through. Alright, let's go out and see what we cut. I'm going to leave it running, that way nobody thinks I'm cheating. Grab our tape measure. Nice piece of wood. End to end. Looking like maybe 16 1/4, give or take. It's pretty darn good. Go for another one. 16 right on the money. Get that one out of the way. Grab this one. End to end. 16 on the money. All right, George, I think we got it.